Oops. Hey guys, 안녕하세요 친구들. Why did I talk like that? Well, because today we are going to study some Korean. No, I'm kidding. I am trying to learn some Korean, but that's a whole different thing, and we're not doing that right now. As you can see, I've got a new thing on my desk here, and that's because we are going to start working on this little guy. This is a Korean tank. This is the K2 Black Panther from South Korea, and I don't seem to be able to get my angles right. You'll see the picture better in the thumbnail. Anyway, so there you go. That's what we're starting. This is made by Academy, which of course is a Korean company, so that's even cooler. So I've just kind of, I'm still not quite awake yet. I haven't finished my coffee yet here. So just kind of open the box to take a look at this thing, and we actually have two instruction manuals. But so at first glance it's like, holy crap, this thing's complicated. They got two manuals to actually assemble this thing. But actually what they've done is they've just got these two great big fold out sheets like this, and that's what they've done. And so they've kind of just divided it. From what I can tell, the first manual, you start off with the turret, and then you just start with the assembly of the hull a little bit, and then at the end of the part 1 manual you start with the wheels. I love this at the end, at the bottom here, to be continued in manual second time. And then you have manual 2, so which continues with the wheels. And as we unfold here, all the stuff on the hull and everything, and then we get it all assembled and put it together, and then we're done, and that's it. Now, typical tank fashion, when I say typical, I've only built 2 other tanks. Okay, if you on my YouTube you can see, what are we making? We are making the Korean tank, the K2, this guy right there, the K2 Black Panther. So that's what we're doing today. We're just starting. I don't know if I'm going to have time to actually start getting into the build today, but opening up the box and taking a look at what we have and what my plan is, that's kind of what we're starting off with today. So, where was I? On my YouTube, you can see I've only built 2 other tanks before. First one being the M1A1 Abrams, and the other was, I don't even remember the designation, but it's in the Israeli tank. I don't remember the numbers of it. But anyway, so today we're going to do the Korean tank. First thing out of the box, we've got the top of the hull that was in its own bag, and I have a bag of tracks to look at here. The other 2 tanks I had, the tracks were rubber, and all you had to do was glue them together. They were just 2 long strips. This, however, these are plastic, and I have to assemble all of these parts individually. So I get that on there. All this stuff has to be assembled. That's going to be a nice long process. How many trees? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 trees. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Yeehaw. Fun stuff. They're not actually too complicated. I did watch another video of somebody else building this tank, and they're not very complicated. Just these little pieces here these guys here, they go onto here. Those get glued on, and then you just take this piece off, and what they did is they just assemble it by pushing it on there, and then kind of did 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and that was pretty easy. So not too complicated, just time consuming, I guess, to get those. These builds, I typically build planes, and I would say maybe about 6 or 7 hours total. If I were to, like, I break my videos up into like 1 hour segments, and there's usually 5 or 6 segments, I guess, per se. Total time's probably about 8 hours. If I were to just sit down and do one continuous build and not stop, it'd probably take about 8 hours. But you have to factor in things like paint drying time and stuff like that too, right? So, but yeah, basically, if you take your time, you could do, if you work on it every day, you could build something like this in a couple of days, maybe a week. Comes with a piece of string. I know in certain pictures there's some kind of a cable system that goes around on there, so that's what that's going to be for. A couple of side plates on this one. What do we got here? Next bag. Looks like the turret. This might be the turret bag. Come on, cooperate here. There's the top of the turret. You can go like that. And is that separate also? Yep. So that's basically the bottom of the turret. So that's eventually going to go like that on there. Together, sort of like that. The railing piece that goes around the back of the main turret, where they store all their stuff. Another bag. Let's try scissors this time. A little bit easier. Okay. This kind of feels like polycaps, except they're not black. Those are obviously for the wheels, and these are obviously the wheel tree and the suspension. And then, oh, already look at that one. Okay, one last bag. Okay, so here we've got 2 more trees. Looks like the main turret's gun, more turret pieces. And then this looks like the hull. So we've got the bottom of the hull and the sides and the back. And I think these, looking at the instructions, looks like these are just going to be support pieces on the inside. And so that's what we got for parts. And that's what we're going to start off with. So, I already know, looking at the instructions, that we're going to start with the turret. just don't know which particular trees we're going to need to start off with. So, and how hard is it? So they've gone and labeled the trees. They've cut holes in them. This is similar to Bandai, where they actually put a hole in the tree for the letter to designate which tree is which. And there's the E. This is the E tree. Come on, focus. Whatever. It's an E tree. Yeah. So that's nice and easy to figure out. Let's take a look. What is first? There's not a lot of painting that needs to be done on this. There's not, at least detail painting. Basically, from what I've seen guys building these tanks, they basically put the whole friggin' thing together and then they paint it with their airbrush. Of course, I don't use airbrushing. I just use good old-fashioned rattle can. And these are the three colors I'm going to be using. I've got the dark yellow, light sand, and olive drab. Now these aren't necessarily accurate to the colors that they call for. Now this actually came in the box too. Nice little color chart to show the camouflage and everything. And they show this side doesn't have the panels along the side here, but this side of it does have them all along here. I don't know what these actually are called, but they're these big blocks that are on the side of the tank. I'm gonna opt to not have those put on because I want to show the side with all the camouflage on there. So that's my plan. They don't really label too much what the parts are as far as in real life what they actually are. There's something I saw online where I guess there's labels. Maybe it's on the side of the box. It points. No, they don't. There is something in the instructions where it shows what they are. I'm going to bring up the pictures I got of that real quick here. I'm going to turn my music down just a little bit because pain in my ass. Bear with me a moment here. Okay. Pictures. Here we go. So let me change my view on here so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is like, I don't know, this didn't come in the kit. I didn't get any kind of pictures, so I guess this is just on the Academy site. So it shows the machine gun there. Where are we here? There's this one. You get the driver's rear TV cameras, the snorkel, whatever that is for. Rear warning receivers. So you can see these green panels on the side here and right up here too. I don't know what those are. They seem to have them on the top of the turret here too, except they're not just plain green, they're actually the camouflage color. So I'm not sure what they are. You can really see them there, the different color green. So this is the look I'm going to go for. I'm not going to put those all on the sides. This is what I want it to actually look like. And yeah, so with that, that's kind of what I'm hoping the end product is going to look like. So that's kind of why I've chosen those three colors to go with. And so that's that. So let's take a look at step one and see what we're doing here. So we got to look at the upper turret, this guy here. And looks like they have it flipped upside down. and we want to look at B and C. So let's find those. D, E, and what are you? You're C, and you B. B. There we go. Here's B and C. Okay, so I need B34. Just this right here. I think I might have to change my camera angle on that camera there. As I work up close to my face here, it seems to be off camera. So let me just quickly adjust this here. Let's see how that does. It's a little better when I'm working up here. Yeah, now I'm still on camera. Okay, so we got that, and I need C12, 34, and 35. There's 12. And I need 34 and 35. There's 35. And 34. Okay. So, normally what I do to clean up these things after I get them off the tree is I'll take my X-Acto knife and I'll clean them up. But I want to try using my razor glass file that I used on my Gundam build. I just finished building a Gundam. Today I'm building a tank. I just finished my Zaku Warrior Lunamaria Hawk custom. I actually just finished it yesterday. The video is on YouTube. Uploaded that, and I got the still shots on my Instagram if you want to take a look at the pictures there. But today I am starting a new build on the Korean K2 Black Panther tank. And I cannot rave enough about this razor glass file that I ordered to do my Gundam builds, and I didn't have it when I built my first Gundam, but doing the Lunamaria Hawk Zaku Warrior, holy crap, I fell in love with this little thing. I cannot say enough how much. Yeah. I'll show you the little box it comes in. If you don't have one, but you're gonna build Gundams, I highly recommend it. This is the box that it comes in. You can see razor on there. And it's got this little pull tab to pull it out like a drawer. And it comes with these little cloths. It comes with 2 of these sponges. And a little card that shows you how to use it. But I found when I was actually using it on the Gundam, I didn't just using the file itself was all I really needed. It did a good enough job to cut down the nub marks and everything. It's just, like I said, I friggin' fell in love with it. Yeah. So if that's something you want to get into and you want to do, I really recommend getting this file. It is definitely worth the money. I know there are other glass files out there on the market. I have never tried them. I don't know how they compare. I can only speak for the quality of this one, and it is fantastic. Yeah. Hey, hey, Ole. Today I am doing the K2 Black Panther tank by Academy. It's kind of funny. I was curious just to look at. I googled like the top 10 tanks of the world, and apparently the South Korean tank ranks as number 2 in the world, behind the German Leopard, which really surprised me because I was always under the impression that the American Abrams tank was the top dog in tanks around the world, but well, apparently not. Okay, so let's see here. Where do these pieces go in here? So C34 goes down. It looks like it's going to fit, whoops, over on this side, down in here. So the instructions aren't quite clear on how that fits in. Let's see, get a better idea with this side maybe. This has to go like this, and that's gonna go in. Does it go in that slot? No, that goes in down in this corner here. Is it supposed to stick out? Or does it go like this? I don't know. Americans like Steven Seagal, they just kind of make stuff up. Yeah, maybe, eh? So it kind of looks like it's supposed to go like that. Oh yeah, they're in the next picture. They are sticking out. So it is supposed to go like that. So let's glue that in place, shall we? Go. Just like that. So duplicate that on this side. Now that I know how it sits. The most memorable or challenging model I've ever built. That's a good question. I would say the one that's most memorable for me would be building the space battleship Yamato from the Star Blazers anime. Simply because, well, it was my absolute favorite cartoon growing up. And I absolutely loved that ship. And I waited some 40 odd years before I finally discovered they made a really good model of it. And Bandai built one, and it is fantastic. It cost me so much money, and I really enjoy it. I wanted to preserve it so much I actually bought a custom built piece of plexiglass to go over top of it and keep all the dust off of it. As far as difficulty, it wasn't difficult. It's a Bandai kit, so it's nice and easy to build. But it is my favorite one so far. As far as challenging, I don't know which one would be my most challenging build. That's a good question, because I don't find them too hard to build. I tend to buy mostly Tamiya kits, and Tamiya kits are pretty easy to put together. They're not too complicated. They always fit nice and everything like that. Revell kits, on the other hand, are always a challenge because they don't fit very good together. I could say the first time I built the Mavericks F14, that one. If you watch that video, I wound up smashing it at the end because it just pissed me off and it was garbage. Yeah. So, as far as challenging, I guess I could say that one was the most challenging one. Okay, let's see here. So we have some optional parts here. So this kit, I already pulled the decals out of the bag, or out of the box. So there's the decals that come. We've got the sunlight coming in here. Let me fix that a little bit. There, that's a little better. I've never seen Star Blazers. I'm going to add to that my watch list. Looked up the Miato. Looks awesome. Thanks. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, by today's standards, the animation's not that great, but you can, if you compare the animation of the show, you can see it's got to be the exact same animation studios that made the original Gundam series. The characters look very similar. Like, even what the heck is his name? Amuro from Gundam looks a lot like one of the main characters in Star Blazers. It's pretty crazy, just the way they animate him, right? It's very similar animation. And of course it came out in relatively the same time. I think Gundam came out in what, 77 or something like that, and Star Blazers came out in 79-ish. They're both very similar to their times. But anyway, so in this little decal bag, we've got some photo-etched grills, but then we got this other little piece here that they're referring to. They're calling the Polaroid sticker. So let's see what we've got here. It's kind of reddish in color, but it's see-through, clear red. So, is it actually a sticker? It's kind of chrome color on the one side. So, we got the option of sticking them on this piece here and on the other piece. So they're saying Polaroid sticker number 1. I gotta see actually numbers on here. There are no numbers. Is this actually a sticker? I have to see if this actually peels apart. Oh, it does too. Wow, okay. Alright then. So I guess I'm just gonna match up these things on here, because they are all unique in there. Oh, they have it labeled in the book. On the little picture of this piece, they've got numbers 1, 2. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write them on there. So if I line this up the way they have it lined up, which is going to be like this. this is number 1. That's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So there we go. So now I've got them actually numbered on there, so I can tell which ones I'm supposed to use. And so they want number 1, which there is like 8 of them, put on these. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like 6 anyway. So now the trick is going to be get them off of here. They seem to be, I can feel the cut on the clear part, but not on the red part. Which side is sticky? Feels like neither of it's sticky, but I do need to cut it, so maybe their cuts are just a guideline. The other videos I watched of this kit being built, they didn't go into any detail on this part, so I'm kind of just making this up as I go along. So if I'm wrong, well, I'm going to find out about it quick enough. Let's see here. Okay, so I got 3 pieces cut out. And I don't think come off of there. I don't think, from what I can tell, the plastic is not adhesive. So here's a clear part. I'm just going to put this part going down, and that's going to go on, in theory, right there. Now, is that going to stay on there, or is that just going to fall off? It was actually got clear on both sides of it. So it feels like it actually does have some adhesive on it, and it's not going to fall off. And so that's it there. A little it's kind of reflective. And that's going to stick up through. If I put this in here, like this, you can see it through that little spot there. Get it at the right angle, you can see the reflectiveness of it. Hey, focus for me. Ah! Focus, 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 focus. There we go. There we go. You can kind of see that reflective green spot right in there. So I'm just going to do that for the other ones. let's do that for the other ones. I'm going to take my glasses off again so I can see. I'm not really super confident about how sticky that's going to be, but if it wants to stay on for me without giving me a headache, I'm happy with that. Third one. Okay. So now there's 3, and let's do a little test fit here again. So I think I need a 4th one. Kind of snapped into place there. I don't think I should have done that just quite yet. So there is a 4th one at the back there. So now I need to unsnap this. Okay. I need a 4th piece to go on there, which means I got to cut another one out. It's a lot easier to see on this side. Okay. Now, of course, there's going to come a moment where I need to mask this in order to paint it later on. And that's not going to be fun. I tell you that right now. Okay, so those are on there now, and now you can go back in with your little hone. And now you can snap into place like you're supposed to. And now we've got 4 little windows, all with the little red reflective tape on there. And now let's glue it in. Okay, that's done. Now we've got the other piece, with only 2 windows. And that's this one, and it's going to go over on this side and stick up through there. So you see you've got these ones and the little red reflective windows. And there's 4 of them there. And then we've only got 2 on this side. And that's going to go on this one. And this one they want number 5. And that's because they are not quite rectangles. They're close, but they are kind of oddly shaped. It is nice now that I know what I'm doing with this. It's not quite such a mystery. Go. Okay, since you want to stick to my finger, we'll deal with you first. Getting the clear off might be a bit of a challenge. For some reason it doesn't want to separate on this piece. Okay, so which one are you going to be? This one. They're actually the same weird little angle, but on a sheet they have them backwards. Okay, there's one. Clear's been removed, and then it is kind of strange. It doesn't feel like, to feel the plastic, it doesn't feel like it's sticky, but then when you put it on here, it doesn't slide around. It's like it is sticky. And there is a clear layer of plastic on both sides of it, both on the red side and on the reflective side. Okay, so now that those are both on there, I can put this in its place. And now we've got our 2 little red windows on this side. And I will glue that down. Okay. And that's that. All right. So that part's done. So now I can put this aside for now. So I'm not going to need that for a little while. Now we want to take, I guess we're going to assemble the main gun. B35 and 36. Is this the B tree? No. This is the B tree. 35 and 36. That's these two big pieces here. Together just like that. Just like that. This razor even works on this stuff. I love it. Not that getting rid of nub marks is super important at this stage. Just the fact that I can is freaking awesome. It's normally, you know, just kind of clean it up with my knife and be done, right? And not worry about it. But this thing, wow. So awesome. Anyway, okay. So we got to put this in the bottom part of the hull. Not the hull, the turret. Looks like this is actually attached, so I have to be a little bit careful undoing all of these. Because now we've got some delicate parts. Now, do I have to worry about cleaning any of that up on here? Maybe a little bit. This fine detail on here, I wouldn't really want to use the razor on, because you do have to kind of push down to do it, and a lot of this is going to get painted anyway, and just because of that fact, it's not really going to show. At the end of the day, I'm not going to look at this and go, oh no, I forgot to clean up that nub mark on that railing piece. Never going to notice it, whether it's there or not. Especially because there's already little bits that stick out from the sides, little nubs, and they're supposed to be there. So to have a little nub mark there also, you can't tell. Anyway, so we have that, and now this is going to go, this lines up like this into there. Oh, I gotta get rid of this X out of the middle. Let's try Can you do this in a circle? It's a challenge for the razor. It's not really... Oh, actually it is getting rid of it. Just taking a few more passes than normal. It's not working efficiently enough for me. It was working though. You can see it. But like I said, it just wasn't getting through it fast enough. Okay. Now, where were we? This guy goes in here, and I don't think I'm supposed to glue that. Even though it doesn't say not to glue it, I did do one tank build where it was kind of unfortunate that the turret did not move at all. And I thought that was kind of dumb. So if I can assemble this in such a way that the turret's going to be able to move up and down, I want to do that. So, it's just a matter of getting this all lined up. Figuring out how it all lines up together. You do have locator pegs and pins and stuff that it should go together on. Let's see here. It's really a super tight fit. It's not. Like this pin is supposed to go in that hole, but it's not really. It's super, super tight. And then it doesn't want to come out. So let's just do this. Might as well do that on these two also. Alternatively, I could file down the tips of the pins. Either way, either file down the tips of the pins or carve open the entry of the holes. Okay, so it does, now it's going together. But now I'm screwed because it's together. But I'll just do that. And let's put this back. It really goes in farther. There we go. So that is going to be able to move. It's almost like a snap together kit. So there we go. There's the movement on the turret, which is pretty cool. The fact that they've actually molded that much of the turret in there, or not turret, the actual gun, is kind of neat. They don't normally show you all that this inner part. That's usually just nothing. They don't really do the interiors of tanks very much. So now that this is together, I better add some glue so that it stays together. Now I realize I'm putting a lot more glue on this than I really need, but it doesn't hurt. It's not like the glue is going to be showing anywhere, so it doesn't hurt to have enough to keep it together. Unless it's for some reason I need to take it apart later, that would be bad. But I don't anticipate having to pull this apart. Okay, that part's done. Got some leftover pieces from my Zaku Warrior. Okay, so with that done, we can move on to step number 2. Step number 2, we got some boxes. And we've got these photo-etched parts. So, we need C46, 47, 8, and 9. And those are pretty easy to see on here. Boom, 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 boom. So, to make life a little easier, I want to put them down on the paper exactly where they are. So, 46. Let's just start with this. And okay. 46. Boom. 47. Boom. 48. Boom. And 49. Boom. Just because I love my razor. And the nice thing about this, I mean the difference, because this thing's going to be painted like 100% paint on this thing everywhere. The fact that you can still see the nub mark is really irrelevant. Like you can see that light, a little bit lighter spot there at the bottom, right? You can see that nub mark. It doesn't matter because it's going to be painted. The only thing that's important here is that it gets smooth and you can't feel it. So that's done. Let's see where they go on this thing. So 47 goes in the front here in this configuration. Two little slots that it fits into. Just like that. Okay. Not quite lined up like we're supposed to. It's such a tight fit. This is almost like a Bandai kit. Pegs in the hole like it's supposed to. So, glue time. You can actually see that peg on the inside, so there we go. So then we got 46, which goes right beside it. And it goes like this. A little bit of flashing on there. I need to clean up. don't belong there. Okay. Everything kind of snapping together. It's kind of strange that this didn't. Okay, and that's on. So now we move to the other side where 46 is in front, or sorry, 48 is in the front. And of course has the super tight fit like the other side did. Okay. I'm actually going to pull this off so that I can get glue on that better than I did on the other side. So I'm a little happier with the way this side went on. Okay, and now let's take a look at this one. Exact same fit. Alright, so we've got our 4 boxes put on. And now we have our railing on the back, which is B39, but the first thing we need to do is take care of these, the photo-etched parts. So, the photo-etched parts, you need to use an X-Acto knife to get them off of the frame. And they are held in with these super tiny little tabs. I want another. My coffee is getting low and almost cold. Let's see here. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to see where the attachment is. And my knife doesn't actually want to cut through it. It should cut through. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Did you hear that little snap? That's it actually coming off. think that's it. Almost. Got one more it wants to hang on to. I think that was it. Oh, there we go. Okay, one photo etched part that's got a little bit of dents in it now because my knife wasn't super sharp. But that's okay. So, it's not quite perfect, the edges, but it might still be okay. This has to go on this side. And I think it's going to go like that. Yes. So it's going to go like that. But it's, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of curved. It's not exactly flat. It's, you can see the curve there. So I have to kind of bend it and flatten it out. Is doing it by hand the best way to do it? Maybe not. But it is so thin and kind of fragile. That's pretty flat there like that. There's one little pin sticking up that it's kind of like a guide pin. So there we go. So that's that on there. Now let's get this other piece over here, shall we? Now maybe it would be a better idea to actually try cutting it out on this where there's less flex. Because they have got a lot of I'm just going to go around this once. See how successful I am at cutting these. Some of them they just cut through like, whoop, don't know, it already is loose. There we go, just like that. So this is garbage. Now we have our piece. And yeah, you can feel the little rough edges. I can try and sand it a little bit smoother. Because it is metal, a metal file would be better. I know what I'm going to use. I have a little metal file here. That feels better. Just got to be really careful. You don't want to dig into it and accidentally bend the thing. Because the moment you bend it, now it's kind of ruined and will never look as good. There we go. And just for good measure, you see you almost got a kink in it right there. And caught on that corner. And that's good enough. Okay. So now let's get this bend out of it here. Flatten this guy out. Ever so subtly bend it. Okay, there we go. So this has to go like this, I think. Could be wrong. Let's look at the instructions. I am wrong. Goes like this. It's going to line up like that. If you're wondering why I'm treating it like it's delicate, it's just because it's a little difficult to get it in the precise spot it's supposed to be. There we go. So they are set where they're supposed to be now. Now to glue this stuff down, you need crazy glue. Or CA glue as they call it. And some people use wires to do this work. I think I'm just going to use a toothpick. Will be good enough. Now this particular crazy glue I'm using is a little bit thicker. It's not the super thin stuff. Which kind of suits my needs perfectly. Once this is set and it's dry, I won't really have to worry about how much or how little is on here. You know, you might have a tendency to worry, how good is it going to hold? Well, this stuff holds just about everything. So, unless you decide you want to be rough with this thing, it's going to be fine. There we go. I do have two types of glue here that are actually designed for photo-etched parts. These are both from VMS. Call it Flexi 5K. These are both CA glues or crazy glues, but they allow you to move the parts. It doesn't set so instant fast, right? So it gives you, you know, a few moments to actually, you know, get a part positioned where you need it before it really sets in. And in fact, this black one is nice and thick, so it will actually fill gaps. But this actually takes a long time to dry too. So, but it's like CA glue that dries like this glue, you know? It's crazy glue that dries slow. And that's kind of neat. Okay, so with those put on, we can now put on our back wall, I guess, and that goes across here. I guess I could have put that on first, it wouldn't have mattered. Oh well, hindsight's 2020. B39. B39, I just want to check something. I want to close my pictures here and see how we're doing. B39, yeah. Okay, B39. I think what I'm going to do is get this put on here, and then I'm going to have to end it here because I've got to go out and get stuff done. Even though it is Family Day in Canada, and that's why I'm able to do a stream here, not on a Monday morning, and not worry about being at work. Yeah. I do have to still get stuff done around the house and out and about. Real life still happens even on a vacation day. Okay, so this is going to go like this, and fit over top like that. Doesn't seem right. Because I had it backwards. It's got like detail on the inside as well as the outside, so that was, I had it backwards and I didn't realize it. Again, a super tight fit. That, if I didn't know better, I'm building a Bandai kit here. Because it fits together, and there's no other way it goes, and yeah, and then it almost snaps in place. Okay, so there's the back on. There we go. So our hull's coming together. It's getting there. If this would focus. Where's my cardboard? I got my cardboard here. That's what we're looking at with our little grill on the back there, in the back of the turret, our little reflective guys on both sides, and of course the main gun which has detail on the inside also. And with that, I'm going to have to end it here for now. Our next step is to assemble some gas cans and then put the railing on the back around here. That's going to be next, but that's also going to have to wait until next time. So I want to thank you guys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Thanks RCS3 and Ole and Adam for talking to me. That was fun. It's actually very unusual. I don't really get people asking me stuff on my Twitch, so that's a nice change. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to head on over to my YouTube channel, Duplicitous29 on YouTube, you can check out some of my other videos that I've done and other builds. And if you want to see some still pictures of builds that I've done, you can head on over to my Instagram. If you want to, if you're watching this on my YouTube, you can head over to my Twitch channel, Duplicitous_29 on Twitch, and then you can watch me live and talk to me just like these guys did. Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna end it here and be done for the day. And thank you guys again for watching, for coming out. You guys who subscribe and hit the like buttons and all that kind of stuff. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So again, I'm going to end it here for today, and yeah. So we'll continue on with part 2 next time. Maybe in a couple of days. We'll see how things go. And so, thanks again, guys. We'll see you around in the next one.